Very good morning, it's Penuel the Black Pen. Ipeni elimnyama. The sword pen. I hope you guys are well, man. I hope you've had a great weekend. For those of you who haven't seen it as yet, please go and check out on the Penuel show, my latest episode sitting with Ernst, one of the young leaders at AfriForum. You know, just sharing some of his thoughts around the work they're doing, sharing some of his thoughts around South Africa, the political landscape. We touched on apartheid. We touched on, of course, on racial divisions and some of his thoughts just around this country and how to make this country better. One of my biggest takeouts from that interview, from that conversation, is Ernst saying they encourage their AfriForum members. And for me, I would like to encourage all of you, not just as South Africans and not just as Africans, but in the whole world, if all of us can take on this personal mission of community service, I think we can fundamentally change our communities and our country. So he speaks about, I think, 1 hour per week. We can take it even down to 30 minutes. 1 hour per week where you in your community volunteer. You can walk around as a neighborhood watch and update your community WhatsApp groups in what you've seen. If everything is safe, say, look guys, I just walked around for an hour. Everything kind of looks fine. I saw some dirt here and there. If there's litter around your neighborhood, use that hour to go around picking up litter. I understand a lot of people get angry. Yes, but we pay tax for these things. Yes, you do. But at the end of the day, the tax is not being used the way it should be used because a lot of governments are corrupt. And fundamentally, at the end of the day, it's your community. It's your neighborhood. So if you love your space, you know, please make sure that you're picking up litter. Make sure that you're looking at people that seem dodgy and strange and report them to Neighborhood Watch, report them to the community, etc. If there are children in your neighborhood, make time to maybe coach them in a sporting code of sorts that you may have skills in. Make sure that you spend time maybe educating them. You might be a maths teacher, you might be a science teacher, you might be a teacher, and you can help some of these kids. If you're a professional, you could be a lawyer, you could be an engineer, can sit with some of these kids and maybe just speak to them about your profession, speak to them about the law, speak to them about engineering. If you're one of those fathers that are very handy, teach some of these kids hand skills. You know, and this is not just for the kids, by the way. There's a lot of grown-ups who need the skills. You know, if you're a woman that maybe can bake, can cook, can sew, you can maybe encourage other women to join you and teach them some of these skills. And maybe you even charge. Maybe you charge for your time and you'll say, look, for 1 hour, pro bono, for free, gratis, I will make sure that I pass on this to my community so that my community can benefit mahala from me as a way of giving back. So thank you to Ernst for that beautiful piece of advice and something that I think all of us need to internalize and do every single week. My mentor and big brother DJ Sbu has dropped his latest episode on the Hustler's Corner. Please go check that out. He's also started a 365-day challenge to post a video every single day on YouTube, trying to stimulate as many young people as possible to make videos on YouTube, to try and reach the threshold of 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours within 12 months, so that you can monetize your channel and learn to start making a little bit of money on YouTube. More importantly for me, it's for you guys to tell your stories using social media. Again, going around your community and picking up the stories of what's been happening. Yesterday, my community around Montgomery Park, Roosevelt Park, around the Emmarentia area, the Johannesburg Botanical Gardens and West Park Cemetery in the northern suburbs of Johannesburg, held a protest. Over the weekend, we had 3 days of a power outage, no power. And sadly, over the months and years, City Power has been doing a really bad job. There have been people that have been coming to steal cables. There were criminals that were found trying to steal cables, and the service has been lackluster. There have been stories about, no, we don't send out contractors after hours because they're scared for their safety. Very valid. But now what about citizens who are in the dark and their safety? So there need to be solutions around these things. Our electricity bills seem to not be going down, even with all the load shedding, which is kind of really, really frustrating. And now, after 3 days of no power, we go back to regular programming and we get load shed. And the question is, what exactly are you trying to achieve? Are you not trying to save electricity by switching off electricity in certain spaces to shed some load? And if we've been forcefully shedding 3 days of the load, why would we still be on the regular schedule? So a lot of the residents were very frustrated and they were boycotting corner Beiersnodier, the M5 in Johannesburg, and John Adamson in Montgomery Park and Roosevelt Park, trying to get the attention of the mayor of Johannesburg, trying to get the attention of city power, and just trying to vent their frustrations. Our community is not the only one. There have been other communities around Johannesburg, around the country, that have been protesting. And these are not your traditional township areas. These are now the more affluent suburbs, you know, the well-off people who are frustrated and are saying something needs to happen. For me, to the residents, please keep fighting and keep these protests going. The first protest, you'll have 5 people. The second protest, you'll have 10 people. The third protest, you'll have 20. And just keep building on that momentum. Hopefully, especially for some of the white Indian people in these neighborhoods, hopefully you'll start adding some music and some dance, you know, especially in the cold, to keep you guys going and to start understanding the culture of doing. I personally do not believe in protests. I've said this many, many times before, but I understand that it is people saying, we want our voice to be heard. They stand on the street, they hold up their cards so that other people that are driving by, the commuters, can see that the community here is not happy. And we need to ask Cyril Ramaphosa to account. I personally think he doesn't care. We need to ask Gwede Mantashe as the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy. We need to ask Pravin Gordhan as the Minister of State-Owned Enterprises. We need to ask the new Minister of Electricity, Josienzo Ramokgopa Sputla, about what's going on. We need to really ask even people like Andre Derrida, but you were there for 3 years and you failed. And you seem to blame everyone else. But other CEOs were not allowed to blame everyone else. So we're in a very, very sad time as a country, as a community as well. And I keep telling people, look, I don't personally believe in this current government we have. And people need to start finding their own solutions. Get a gas stove if you can afford it. Get a gas heater if you can afford it. Get rechargeable lamps if you can afford them. Get mobile chargers for your phones, etc. If you have money, get solar panels, especially for your geyser. Get an inverter. But try and go off-grid as much as possible. Get your complex, get your block of flats, get your community to come together and say, how can we solve this problem ourselves? How do we, little by little, save money or maybe get debt and then try and ensure that we get solar geysers around our space, maybe have some gas lines for power. Speak to your landlords if you're a tenant. Speak to your landlords and be like, sorry, is it possible maybe to pay a little bit of extra rent per month so that you can get me a gas stove? Is it possible to pay a little bit of extra money per month so that you can add maybe a solar geyser option for me? And let's work hand in hand to find our own solutions. At the end of the day, look, electricity is not some magic thing in the sky. It is something that human beings created. It is something that we can create. Hendrik van der Bijl and the guys that built Eskom came up with something dope. The problem in this country is that our electricity supply is monopolized by the government. Our government forces us to get our power from Eskom. It's only now they are giving out licenses, independent power producer licenses, to people, but it's to their friends. Pritish Motsepe, the brother-in-law of Cyril. It is to people like Johan Rupert at Remgro and other connected people that have money. But I can tell you now, ordinary citizens outside of the legislation, we can generate our own electricity. And we need to come together and go back to the basics and say, look, can we generate our own electricity? Can we mine our own coal, get our own mini power stations or power plants and see if we can generate our own electricity and use that as a fight against government? There are communities trying to go off-grid with solar farms, and the government and Eskom and NERSA are throttling them because they're refusing to let them generate their own power, which is bullying and terrorism by this ANC government, which does not want people to actually solve their own problems and wants to force them to rely on Eskom, which has been infiltrated by various mafias, which are allowed by political parties. But keep the fight going. Amandla, aluta continua, not just to our black people in the townships and other spaces, but it seems now even the more affluent people in the Indian neighborhoods, some of the colored neighborhoods, and some of the white neighborhoods are starting to get frustrated, and they are starting to feel the pain that many black people in this country have been feeling since before 1994, where their lives haven't changed. And for now, people are now starting to feel the pain that the poorest are feeling. And I'm hoping now they can see that this government is not serving this country and we can start finding solutions for ourselves. So that's one of the things from me. What else do I want to tell you guys? I want to tell you guys to please be careful of your daily habits. Your daily habits are fundamental to how your life turns out. You know, many people refuse to exercise every day. They come up with excuses. You can make excuses for 5-10 years until your liver gives in, until your kidneys give in, until you're so overweight and morbidly obese that you're starting to have heart problems, your diabetes, cholesterol, hypertension, and the like. And some of these other illnesses that we have, I mean, things like infertility are affected by your health. So look at your daily habits. Every single day, try and educate yourself. If you're a reader, get good books and read. and stimulate your mind and grow your reasoning capacity. If you're not a reader, watch videos that are educational. You know, information today can be consumed in so many different ways. You can read, you can watch, you can listen to podcasts on a Spotify or some other platform. So you almost have no excuse. And try and make sure that in your habits, you are making friends with the right people. In your community, at work, everywhere else. The people that can help you move up the ranks at work. The people that can help you run a better community. The people that can help you grow your business. You're spending so much time with people that are trying to escape from the harsh realities of life. Drinking, smoking, partying for no reason. Because you're scared to face the truth. Change your habits. Change your habits every day. If you do a little bit every day, if you just wash your car, you know, if you just look at the oil in your car and the water, your car won't be dying on the highway. You know, if you're cleaning your house just a little bit every day, just a little wipe, a little sweep, a little mop, your house doesn't get filthy, get infested with cockroaches and rats and other things. So look into your daily habits. How you want to achieve success is by fixing the things that you do every single day. So just be very, very careful is my next message to you guys. One of the cornerstones of building a great society is in our families. It is the building block. It is the first building block. If you want to build an amazing house, it is the foundation. That is most important. Doesn't matter how fancy the structure is. If your foundation is not rock solid, the structure will collapse. It's as simple as that. A lot of us have been misled, miseducated by the education system, by mainstream media, by some of your celebrities and influencers who have made us feel like the family is not important. The family is absolutely everything because it is the foundation. And by family, we're not only speaking blood. That's one of the mistakes people make. Family is the people you see every single day. It is your neighbors. It is the people you work with. You know, your colleagues at work. If you're going to school, it is your peers, your fellow students. It is the authority figures in your area. That is your family. And you need to build important relationships with them. The police station closest to you, the clinic or hospital closest to you, the police, I spoke about the police, sorry, and other community leaders around you, and then your neighbors. Your neighbors are the people that are going to make sure that if there's something funny happening at your house, they're there. Your neighbors are going to be the people that if you need someone to fetch your child from school, to babysit your child, they will be there. Your community members, your neighbors are going to be the people that will make sure that when there's hints, cheats, tricks on how to get cheaper solar, on how to get cheaper power, on how to cover potholes, on specials if you want to buy groceries, they will help you get job opportunities if you build strong relationships with them. That means you need to get out of your comfort zone and go and try. And you may not like them. You might be a black person and your neighbors are white and they seem racist. You might be Indian and some of your neighbors are these colored guys who are always making noise. And go out there and make an effort and get to know people, especially if they're different. Meet other cultures and understand. You'll find tomorrow that you'll be listening to the same music they're listening to. You guys will be sharing baking recipes, cooking recipes. Hey, look, we've got extra food. I cooked too much. I don't know if you guys would like some curry, some biryani. Hey, look, we baked a cake. It was my child's birthday. We're not really into sweet stuff. We just did it for my child. But would your children like some cake? And build a stronger community. And it starts with family. For those of us who have blood relatives, one of our biggest revolutionary fights today is going to be getting in touch with your family. We speak a lot about African unity. We speak a lot about a rainbow nation and uniting the different cultures and the different races in this country. We speak about doing business with each other, etc. But so many of us are avoiding the elephant in the room. Go and fix relationships with your family. Take your phone, text your brother, your sister. Hey, I hope you're well. It's a start. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. I hope work is treating you well. I hope the kids are fine. Take this call. Call your mom. Mama, how are you guys doing? Niyaphila and say righty. Is lekker by die huis? Is alles alright? Make sure that you're reaching out and you're building a genuine relationship. This is blood. This is family. Too many people take them for granted and they think, but that's family. I can check up on my friends, but this is just my... No, you need to put in more effort in your family because that's your blood. Those are the people that are meant to be the real foundation of your life. Reach out to them, spend time with them, travel. Go see your mom, go see your dad. Ask your dad how he's doing, listen to them. I saw a clip by KRS-One, you know, a huge underground rapper, one of the biggest rap icons historically, speaking about the old people who spend time with the young people will move faster than other old people. The young people who spend time with old people will move faster than other young people. Because the young people that spend time with the old people get wisdom, advanced knowledge. It's like a hack and a cheat. You're getting old people to warn you about the pitfalls of life, relationships, marriage, money, and all these other, raising your kids. So as a young person, you've got this blueprint, this memorandum from old people because you spend time with them. And you get to be faster than other young people, and you get to avoid some of the mistakes they made. If you're an old person spending time with young people, you get to learn new knowledge. You get to be the first person to find out about ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, which track is hot on the streets. And you get to be faster than other old people, which I think is so dope. And so many of us are sleeping on the human libraries that are our parents, their siblings, their cousins, our grandparents, their siblings, their cousins. You sit with them and they fundamentally tell you all the mistakes they made. And they tell you all their wins. Where they know where to get cheap supplies of this. They know where to get funding for these other things. And once you've built a strong enough relationship with your family, you can then, when you're looking for business funding, tap into that bank, which is your family. If you're looking for knowledge and resources, you can tap into that bank, being your family. You're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on an oil field, which is your family. They have knowledge. They have wisdom. They have resources. You should never be sleeping under bridges because your family members have homes. You should never be hungry because your family members have food. You should never struggle for a job because some of your family members have access to certain businesses to get you hired if they do not have businesses themselves to hire you. Get out of your comfort zone. Spend time with your family. Treat them like strangers with respect. Get them to like you. Get them to appreciate you. Add value in their lives. And tell them, you are my brother, you are my sister, you are my mother, you are my father. I love you and I want to build with you, as difficult as it may be. That is going to be our struggle. We speak about the political struggle of apartheid, the ANC, the PAC, the IFP, and other organizations. The economic freedom fighters and other groups, the ANC Youth League at some point, spoke about economic freedom in our lifetime. And they picked up the fight for economic liberation, which seems to be moving backwards if you see how many more young people are being unemployed and poor today. For me, the biggest fight we're meant to be having is, how do we rebuild our families? How do we make sure that we have better relationships with our romantic partners, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife? How do we have better relationships with our parents? I hate my mom. She was so horrible. Yes, I understand. Your mom was the apartheid government, but you need to go and fight her. Not evil, not fight her. My mom must disappear. No. Go and fight the evil in her so that you guys can build. My father was a tyrant. He was so abusive. He never loved us. He's never even reached out. Go reach out to him. You may find that there's a story there, that your father's in pain, that once you meet him, he will explain to you why he deserted the family. So the most revolutionary thing you can do is to go and try and fix and rebuild your family. Because colonization, the apartheid government, so many evil capitalist forces today, so many evil religious forces today, so many evil cultural forces today want to break your family up. Because again, it's divide and conquer. It is easier to manage a woman as an agenda if she is not united with her man and her kids. It is easier to dominate and conquer a man's mind with the likes of people I admire, about Andrew Tate, the guys at Fit and Fresh or Fresh and Fit, to say, oh, let's pump this toxic masculinity. Women ain't shit. I'm a high value man. It's easy to do that because you've isolated the man away from his woman. It's easy to attack the child and pump all these funny things that they must eat, pump all this funny music, give them all these weird role models because they are not united with their mom and their dad. We need to bring the man, bring him with the woman, get them to work together. Fuck the feminist agenda. Fuck the red pill manosphere agenda. And fuck these children who are like, oh, my parents are disconnected from the world. They don't understand me. No. We are all trying to fight the same battle. We are trying to win, but not as an individual. Your woman is not the enemy. Your man is not the enemy. Your child is not the enemy. The enemy are these systems that want to break you guys up. Sit together and discuss together, the trifecta, the Mother, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That was a Freudian slip. Sit together and be like, let's talk about feminism. Wife, how do you feel? Husband, how do you feel? And be Objective because you guys are trying to win together. Child, how do you feel? Let's speak about children's rights. Let's speak about traditional gender roles, the woman being in the house, the man being out there to provide. Let's speak about children's chores and pocket money. Hey child, what music are you listening to today? What's hot on the streets? You know, my wife, what are the women speaking about that you'd like us to discuss as a family so that we can all be on the same page? Part of those things, again, are fixing your daily habits. Spend time with your kids. Have meals. It sounds boring and very cliche, but it works. When it's mealtime, switch off the TV, put the phones away. Let's connect and let's speak to each other. Let's look at each other in the faces. Hi, how are you? I'm all right. Oh, snap, you've got a pimple. I've had this pimple for a week. Oh, I've never noticed. Look at each other, spend time with each other. What music is hot? What music do you like? Dad, what music was bumping in your day? Or at least when you were my age, what music were you listening to? Yo, Ntwana, this is what I was listening to. Mom, you know, I actually miss this cake you bake. You know, Mom, how's work going? You know, how's your business going, Mom? And Mom tells you, you know, as a woman, these are the struggles I have. And let's come together and rebuild and strengthen the family. Once the family is strong, it becomes so difficult for external forces to come in. And again, like I said, family is not just blood. It is the people you live with. It's the people you have interdependence with. And some of the communities I admire, the Jewish communities, the Muslim communities, some of the white Afrikaner communities in South Africa have got this culture where they look out for each other. They share the resources and the information and the knowledge with each other so that they can win as one united family. I spoke about Dr. Umar Ifatunde speaking about the Pan-Africanists, and I'm hoping the Pan-Africanist family can rise up. I am not a Pan-Africanist. I am not a white Afrikaner. I am not Jewish. I am not Muslim, but I identify these groups as passionate groups of similar values that want to build a better world. So if the Pan-Africanists can come together and say, guys, we are building platforms. If you're a Pan-Africanist, this is the 5 to 10 point tick box. Come and join us and let us build together. And if you haven't seen that episode, please go check out my sit down with Dr. Umar Ifatunde, who used to be Dr. Umar Johnson when he was visiting South Africa. I think some of these other topics I'm going to leave for another day. One of the cops that is investigating the Thabo Bester, Dr. Nandipha case, apparently took his life. I think it was yesterday, if not the day before. There are investigations underway to try and figure out what's happening. I know one of the conversations we're not having is we keep speaking about suicide, but we're not speaking about what if it is not suicide. You know, I know in the hip-hop space, we've lost so many people. WHP, Ricky Rick, who took their own lives. There have been other people that have taken their lives in this country, in the entertainment industry, in business, in ordinary society. And we're saying, look, they committed suicide, but we're not sure. We're not investigating. What if they were poisoned? What if someone came and planted pills there and then wrote a letter? You know, I'm not trying to raise any conspiracy theories. I'm just trying to say this cop that was investigating the case took his life, and we don't know if he really took his life or if something sinister happened. Dr. Nandipha is gaslighting a lot of people. Gaslighting means upsetting people when you've already upset them with even more inflammatory stuff. It's like Cyril Ramaphosa and watching this country be destroyed, and then he is celebrating that we now have more social grant recipients, as if that is the target, to get 30 million people on social grants instead of this is how many more jobs we have created in the economy. It is pathetic when Ramogopa sits on ENCA, I think, wearing a beautiful white jersey with Kors from Michael Kors, an international designer, spitting in the faces of the poor. Yes, you've got money. Yes, you're rich. But you're coming here to speak to the poorest of the poor who don't have power, who are struggling because they don't have jobs. And you're wearing the 6,000 Rand, 8,000 Rand jersey. And you're meant to be a revolutionary trying to help the people. He's been seen with an expensive watch as well. I don't know if it's a Patek Philippe or something along those lines. These are supposed to be your leaders. Come 2024, please vote them out. They don't care. The country's in turmoil. Cyril Ramaphosa is busy at auctions for Ankole cattle while he's meant to be focusing on fixing the country. These people do not care, boy. Get them the fuck out. So that's what gaslighting is. Dr. Nandipha is gaslighting people because she's got an international lawyer who's apparently very good, apparently very expensive. People are asking where is she getting the money from. And they are currently fighting, and I don't even know if they're winning, that her arrest was illegal. that she was deported from Tanzania without following process, which is wild. Said this before. Our system of the law is not a just system. It is not a justice system. Yes, it is a legal system, but it's not just. Apartheid was the law, so that's legal. Colonization, according to some factions, was legal. You know, some people argue BEE is racist, but it is legal. That does not make these things just. So we do not have a justice system. We have a legal system. And this legal system favors people with money. It favors people with connections. And it spits in the faces of the people that really, really need justice. People who had their land taken during apartheid and have never gotten it back because they are gatekeepers in the ANC government. People that are trying to access opportunities under black economic empowerment, but they are being gatekept by politically connected people and their friends and family members. And there are certain white business people who are exploiting BEE for their own benefits and putting certain black people as fronts, giving them directorships and shares so that they can plunder from these funds and resources that are meant to be sharing the wealth and redistributing the wealth with the poorest people in this country. So we're being gaslit, and that's currently what's been happening in this country. I think I'll stop it there for now. It's Penuel the Black Pen. I hope you'll have a great and a blessed day. Please take care of your health, not just your physical. Boy, she got the guns. Boom. Not just your physical health, but your mental health. Make sure that you're not following toxic accounts on social media. If people are coming at you sideways on social media, please block, please unfollow. You have the power to do that. You go and you just say block, peace. Instead of complaining and being miserable and being sad, etc. Do that for yourself. Like I said, go and rebuild your family. That is the revolution. That is the fight. That is the struggle that we have today. Let's go and fix our families. Let's go for therapy. You know, if your mom and your dad, they refuse, they whatever, try and get someone to advise you. Get a mediator. Get someone to sit between the two of you, the two groups. Get someone from the side. If your aunt can speak to your mom, speak through your aunt and be like, I'm trying to rebuild and fix our family. I know there are past injustices within the family, but we need to fix this thing. Otherwise, other people will keep winning while we keep losing. Let's be present parents in our children's lives. That is something we have within our power. You know, and if you're a woman keeping a child from their father, you are part of the destruction in society. Make sure that the child has a good relationship with their father. If you're a man running away from the responsibilities of your child, holler at me. I do online consultations where I try to advise men on how to have better relationships with their kids. I advise women who have dumped their kids with their parents or with the father of the child on how to have better relationships with their children, even if you do not have money. We need to make a better effort to have better relationships with our children. This is something that is within our power. So let us try our best. It will be hard. It may be harder than apartheid, the apartheid fight. I promise you. It may be harder than the economic fight, because when it comes to family, the emotions get very high. All of a sudden, you're finding out this person was not really your father. All of a sudden, you're finding out your mom cheated with someone else. All of a sudden, you're finding out your father's got other kids he's never told you about. All of a sudden, you're finding out your father once tried to kill your mom. You're finding out that your mom once poisoned your father. It is very sensitive and very touchy. But we have to fight and we have to try and fix. Let's just give it our best shot. And to our children, try and hand over a healthier family to them so that they can win. Don't forget to go and watch my sit down with Ernst from AfriForum. Go and forget to go and watch my sit down with Dr. Umar, Ifatunde. Please go and subscribe and watch the videos on the Hustlers Corner with DJ Sbu, along with his own channel where he's posting videos every single day as a challenge to stimulate young people to rise up and take ownership of their content creation, telling their stories, and finding ways to monetize. Love you guys very much. I believe in you, and I hope you'll have a great and a blessed day. Cheers.